Everyone's got an excuse. What's yours?
How you doing, YouTube? This is Will from Will Development, and this is my 30-second weekly update. Weekly update 32, depending on how you want to look at it, I suppose. And I'm just going to jump right into it because I got a few other videos I need to edit since I didn't even drop any this week. My apologies. I had some recorded, I just didn't get to editing them on the weekend because I was so busy with stuff, and then I went and took a little trip on Monday, so it's been a hectic, busy kind of week. But I'll just jump right into it. So, weight, I am averaging 179. So I'm down a pound from last week, and some people may be curious as to if I'm still cutting, that sort of thing. I'm going to go ahead and say a broad answer and say yes. Yes, I am still cutting. I'm still trying to reduce the amount of body fat I have because I'm a trainer and I want to look more like one. That's kind of a silly statement, but I want to look and be as good as I can be at any given moment. And, that's just knowing that I the work ethic that I have, that I'm working hard towards a goal every day. It makes sure that I understand that I'm the best I can be at that moment. Simply because I'm working hard every chance I get. So that means I'm the best I can be. Workouts this week have been okay, and then to mediocre, and then to pathetic. I kind of fucked up my dieting. And this is how crazy it is. I am eating... I basically figured out how much food I need in order to have energy by the time I get home from work to work out and that sort of thing. And if I don't get exactly that much that I need, if I go over, I'm just better. I basically just, I do a lot of supersets in order to get more, or I do more of a circuit training. I circuit my workouts more if I've eaten too much, just to try to get some more cardiac movement, I guess the word I'm looking for, out of it. Otherwise, I'm just so shit tired that by the time I finish up my first exercise, I'm just fucked. I can't put good numbers on anything. I still go through the motions on a lot of them. And when I say go through the motions, for me, going through the motions actually does mean working. But it's nowhere near the intensity that I could or probably should be giving towards that specific exercise. Which then brings me to my other announcement, I guess. I have redesigned my routine and I'm changing it up next week. I've been on the one I'm doing for 3 months, and just about every 3 months I change up what I'm doing. Now, in the routines that I do, I don't plan out my sets and reps. All I do is plan out the specific exercises I'm going to do and what days I'm going to do them on, whether it's day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on, that sort of thing. That's how I plan my routines. I don't plan reps and sets until I'm there that day because I always forget, did I do 3 this week, 3 last 4 this week, that sort of thing. And what I like to do is go back and forth between sort of bodybuilding and strength training, and I'll actually go between them during the week. So, my first leg workout, I'll do it in a strength training or powerlifting mentality where I'll go in and I'm just trying to put 5 or 10 more pounds on whatever main exercise I have and keep the sets relatively low and the reps relatively low because the weight is really fucking high, 80 to 90% of my 1 rep max, that sort of thing. And then the second leg day, I'll do the same thing. I'll have my, functional movement, which is what I consider the movements that are, squats, deadlifts, that sort of thing. I'll do those first, and it's the same story, but if, I do squats 2 times a week, but I do 2 different variations of squat. I do back squat Mondays, this is what I'm doing right now, and then Thursday, I do goblet squat, because it's still a squat movement, but it's slightly different muscles being activated in that movement. But that, the the goblet squats, if I did a powerlifting style on the squats on Monday, Thursday, I'll go and I'll do a bodybuilding style where I'll keep the reps pretty high. I won't go above 60 to 70% of my 1 rep max, which my 1 rep max on a goblet squat is you know, it has kind of a limit because, you know, I'm actually holding a dumbbell like this or like this, you know, and it's challenging to hold more than 60 pounds right here on your chest while keeping it upright, you know, for an extended period of time, which is great because, you know, it helps. It's, you know, that's, what do they call that? Isometric? ISO training? Yeah, I think that's the word. Look who's asking, right? Regardless. So, and then, you know, the next week I'll do the opposite. I'll do a bodybuilding thing where, for the squats, bodybuilding style, where I'll do 15 reps, 4 sets, but the weight will be 50 to 60 to 70% of my 1 rep max. And then I'll take Thursday and I'll do the squats with the goblet squats. I'll do with a really heavy weight that even, you know, it's heavy enough to challenge my actual legs and stuff. And, you know, I'll do the 70, 80, 90% of my 1 rep max, that sort of thing. And then every 3 weeks I like to just fuck with my body and do a really, really hardcore, a true powerlifting workout with just my 3 or 4 main exercises, which are like squats, deadlifts, bench, and overhead press, that sort of thing. I'll do an actual powerlifting mentality, and I'll go in there and I'll do 10 sets of 1 rep with 96% of my 1 rep max. You know, if I can overhead press, I think my 1 rep max is like 130 or something like that. I'll put it at like 120, and I'll just, you know, I'll get the 1, put it down, rest for 30 seconds, do another one. Same thing with my deadlift. My 1 rep max is something like 290, 300, I think. I've never actually done that, but that's my calculation based on the fact that I can do 225 for a few of them, for a bunch. I don't remember what it was, but it's something like 300 to 290, something along those lines. I'll put it down to like 270, and I'll just do 1. Hold it, slowly put it down, rest for 30 seconds, and do like 10 of those for just 1 rep. And it's a different way of working the muscles, and I recommend everybody needs to do that, you know. You don't have to do it every week, you know, you can stick to something, but the body adapts very quickly, which is why I'm a fan of changing it up as much as humanly possible while still keeping... I like to keep things centered around the big 3, which is squat, deadlift, bench press. And I've recently started to appreciate the use and functionality, I should say, of overhead press. Because you know, you figure you've got so much weight over your head, you know, you're working your shoulders, your triceps, your abs, your back because you're trying not to crush over, and your abs because you're trying to balance and stabilize everything. And it even works your legs because, you know, it's your legs are supporting everything. So I've recently appreciated and discovered that, so I might even start saying the big 4. And when I say big 4, I'm including overhead press. So my workout routine is changing. Like I said, I was doing kind of a cutting training. I believe I did a video about it. If I didn't, I'll do one. I'll find out if I did. And if I didn't, I'll talk about it in another video, and I'll release those too. And I'll talk about how I'm changing my training. Basically, I'm doing a push-pull legs, except I'm doing legs the first day and then push and pull. And that's a great thing for me. It's 6 days a week, which is kind of a challenge for me because I like to be lazy on Saturdays. It's just me personally. But it's great because it gives me enough time for each body part to rest. And what I did was I cut down the amount of exercise I had per day. I was bordering on 7 to 8 exercises a day, and there was just no way I could fit all of them in and keep the kind of energy going after work every day. And I wake up early as it is and do some stretches and stuff like that before I get my days going. I can't put any kind of time in to work out in the morning either, at least in the gym, that is. So I have a finite amount of time that I can work out. It's about 2.5 to 3 hours, and I mean 3 hours in one shot of of just going at it. I personally don't have the kind of energy by the time I get to the last exercise. Usually I just say, fuck it. I end up picking and choosing 4 to 5 of them that I think are important that week, and I hit those as hard as I can, and then I'm dead and I go shower and go to sleep. But the beauty of this kind of thing is because I know I'm hitting everything I need to hit, I've limited myself to 4 to 6 exercises per day, which I'm 100%, and they're all exercises I know I won't ever be like, fuck doing that one today. Like I had glute raises or hip raises in there where you put a barbell on your hip and you kind of lay on something like that and you just raise it up and down your pelvis. And after I did my deadlifts and my leg curls and my leg extensions, I was just kind of like, fuck this. I'm not doing this today. I don't want to. It hurts my fucking hips. It's a pain. It's a pain in the ass, literally. So there's that. So I've only put in exercises I would never skip. And that's kind of an advanced exercise I don't need to think about right now anyway, because I'm still a beginner, intermediate lifter. Now I have shit tons of experience, but it's about consistency. I can't call myself an experienced lifter or a third tier lifter until I have been doing this for at least 10 years, I would say. Consistently. I mean, we're talking missing a day, a week here, that sort of thing. But I mean, I took literally a couple of years off of lifting. Total time I've been lifting would be 15 to 18 to 3, and then that's 6 years total time lifting. It's on and off, that sort of thing. But consistently, the longest stretch I ever had was 2.5 to 3 years. And then now I'm back at it over 6 months, so I'm just resetting it. And unfortunately, I have to call myself an intermediate, beginner, intermediate, that sort of thing. And that's the kind of split I'm moving to. So, I mentioned a minute ago how I was fucked for my workouts, and that's because of my nutrition. Because what happened was Wednesday night, I had not enough rice, and I didn't feel like cooking anymore because I'm fucking lazy like that sometimes. And I thought I had more than I did, and I didn't, and I didn't feel like fucking cooking, and I had to get out to work out. The Wednesday I was good, but then Thursday, because of the food I had, I was lower on carbs than I was used to. By the time I got home, and even I had a protein shake, and I took some creatine, and I was still like, fuck, I'm shit, I'm just fucked, I'm too tired. And it happens. And I didn't feel like making coffee, and it was just one of those days, sometimes you're in it, sometimes you're not. I just took the day off. Usually I like to at least come out and do the motions, and I did 3 sets of goblet squats, a pretty good weight for me, but I was just kind of like, fuck it, I'm done today. So that was my nutrition goof this week, and it's completely my fault. No one to blame but myself, but still, it happened, and that's what caused my workouts. But next week, the workouts are going to be kick-ass because I'm always excited to start a new routine because, monotony gets boring. And if you're not changing up your routine often, find out how, ask around, that sort of thing. Ask the other dude at the gym what he's doing. If somebody's doing starting strength, ask him what that's all about. If somebody's doing a push-pull legs routine, ask him what that's all about. If somebody's doing a field training, ask them what that's about. That's a very advanced thing, by the way. Most of the people I'm talking to, watching my videos, you shouldn't even have to, you don't even think about that just now. Worry about getting in there, being consistent, and if you're not changing up your routine every 3 to 4 months, then what's your excuse?